Good morning, everybody. I want to start with a simple question. At what age do we start being taken seriously? Is it when we're 10, 11, or maybe the moment someone calls us just a kid? Because here's something I've noticed. When children are very young, they ask endless questions. Why is the sky blue? Why do people lie? Why do we have rules? But something changes as they grow up. They stop asking. Not because they stop wondering, but because they start realizing that their questions are not always welcome. I remember a moment when I had an idea. It wasn't something silly, at least not to me. It was something I had really thought about. But when I tried to explain it, I was interrupted. Someone smiled politely and said, "You'll understand it when you're older." And just like that, the conversation ended. Not because I had nothing to say, but because nobody expected me to say something worth hearing. This happens more often than we think. Children are not silent because they lack ideas. They're silent because they learn that speaking doesn't change anything. Now, we often believe that understanding comes with age, that adults think deeper, see clearer, know better. But what if that's not entirely true? What if children don't lack understanding? What if they simply lack permission to express it? Think about it. Children notice things adults ignore. They notice unfairness quickly. They ask questions adults avoid. They imagine situations without being held back by how things have always been. In many ways, children think more freely than adults. But slowly, that freedom disappears. A child shares an idea, it's dismissed. They ask a question, it's ignored. They make a mistake, and they're corrected immediately. And piece by piece, they learn a silent lesson. It is safer not to speak. This is not something we teach directly. No one says stop thinking, or no one says your ideas doesn't matter, but it's their reaction that sends that message anyway. And over time, children don't lose their intelligence, they lose their confidence. And that is the real problem. Because when a child stops expressing ideas, we don't just lose their voice in the moment. We lose future perspective, innovation, and creativity. We lose thoughts that could have challenged us, ideas that could have improved something. We lose questions that could have changed how we see the world. So maybe the issue is not whether children understand enough. The real question is, are we willing to listen to them? Listening to children does not mean agreeing to everything they say. It means taking them seriously. It means considering their questions. It means asking them, why do you think that? Instead of saying, you'll understand it when you're older. Because sometimes, just sometimes, understanding doesn't come from experience. It comes from seeing the world without assumptions. Imagine what could happen if children felt hurt. If instead of becoming quieter and insecure with age, they became more confident. If instead of doubting their ideas, they developed them. If instead of thinking, this probably isn't important, they thought, maybe this matters. The truth is, children don't suddenly become capable thinkers when they grow up. They're already thinking, already observing, already questioning and understanding in ways that are different, yet valuable. So maybe the problem is not children not understanding. Maybe the problem is that we stop listening too soon. Because the next time a child starts speaking, they're not just sharing words. In that moment, they're deciding whether their voice matters. And that decision can stay with them for a lifetime. Thank you.